All right, today, guys, y'all are going to continue to work with your Similar Triangles word packet, and it will be a checkoff before Friday. Today, you're going to view this link, and we're going to talk about the 12 review problems you're going to do on similar right triangles, but we're going to review how to actually do those similar right triangles real quick. If you will remember, back last week, we talked about similar right triangles when they looked at this, and we talked about the altitude, how it would come down. Now, you really had three different right triangles right here. We also talked about how there was an L and a T method to it. All right, so if we're looking at this first example on this page, what we're going to be determining is whether we need to use the L or the T. The L is used when I have a side, and the T is going to be used when I have a middle. All right, so looking at this first problem here, since we don't have that altitude and we don't have that middle, we only have that side, then this first example is going to be an L example. Now the second one here, since we do have an altitude here, that's the X that we're going to be looking for, this is going to be the T method, and we'll talk about it here in just a minute. Going back to this first example, if you'll remember, when we have an L, we have to start here in the middle, and we're going to travel down part of it and then up the side. So that would give us an X is to 5. Okay. Then we have to travel back down the side. So now we have a 5, and then we're going to go all the way across the whole. So that would give us a 5 is to 13. Now to solve this, we simply cross multiply, just like we've been doing. All right, so that would give us a 13x would equal 25. And then after we divide by both sides by 13, x is going to equal a 25 over 13. And that's actually going to be my answer there. You're welcome to leave it as an improper fraction. It is reduced, so it's perfectly fine. We also would take 1 and 12/13. Either way would be fine. All right, now let's look at this second one. We do have this altitude here. That X is what we're going to be looking for. However, we know this little piece is 7, and we know the whole thing is 25, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to need that little piece there. So let's take our 25 and let's subtract our 7, and that's going to give us an 18. All right, so if you'll remember, it doesn't really matter which end I start with, but I'm going to travel in from an end. I'm going to go the length of 18 and then up the altitude. So I have the 18 is to X, and then I'm going to have as the X is to 7. Okay, and then I'm going to cross multiply, and we're going to get a little bit different situation here. We have the X times X is X squared, and then we have the 18 times 7, which is going to give me 126. But I don't need an X squared, I need just the X. So I am going to take the square root of the 126. So if I take the square root of 126, it's not going to be exact, but my X is going to be approximately 11.22. Okay, and that's going to be my answer there. All right, we've got one more example. All right, we're going to decide, is this an L or a T method? I do not have the altitude here, so I am going to be working with the side, and therefore it is going to be the L method. So I'm going to start by coming down here and then up the side. So that's going to give me my 12 is to 13. And now I'm going to travel back down, and I'm going to travel the entire length across, which is going to give me an X plus 12 here. All right, so I have 12 over 13 from my blue. Now coming back down, I have 13 is to X plus 12. So 13 times 13, give me 169. And then I have 12 times X plus 12, and I'm going to have to distribute there. So 169 would equal 12X plus 144. And I'm going to take my 169, I'm going to subtract that 144, which is going to give me 25. And that's going to equal the 12X. And now I'm going to simply divide by 12. And I would have that X is going to equal the 25 over 12, or that could be 2 and 1/12. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing today. In your document that I have shared with you, you're going to have this right here. All right, and I'm going to be giving you about 12 different problems. You're going to be using Equatio to give me a setup. So remember to use Equatio, you click this blue diamond here, and it will come up. It might take it a minute to resurface. Here it comes. All right, let's see here. I have problems getting it to come up with my stuff here. All right, so we're going to go back to this problem here, and I'm going to show you, remind you how to use the Equatio app here. This is on number 1. This would be an example of where we have an altitude, and we would be looking for that. So using my Equatio for the setup, I would say that that's the same thing as x is divided by 6, which is equivalent to 6 over 4. All right, and remember, you simply just come over here to where it says insert math. And it's going to go in there. It's going to take it just a second and pull that down so we can see it. And it should be right there. All right, so a little bit slow just because we're recording. All right, and then you're going to solve it. So we would have 6 times 6, of course, is 36. And then you divide by 4. So on the solution part, you could use the Equatio again, or you could just say x equals 9 and be done with it. All right, so that would be what is expected of you to do with this. You will be receiving your own copy of that, and you need to make sure that you are turning it in once you are finished. This is of the first priority of today. Then you're going to go back and continue to work with your word problems. I hope to be available to you guys using GoGuardian during your class period. So feel free to reach out to me and chat with me today if you have any questions. And hopefully I will see you guys soon.